Hello, welcome to another class. Today I'm going to be making hair mask. Before I continue, I'm Josephine, your favorite cosmetic formulator and your guide to ingredients. The director at Cetearyl Cosmetics Lab and Academy. You can register for our online course or physical class. We teach skincare and hair care product formulation course. We have ebooks, we have emulsion masterclass, we have hair and body butter formulation class. So you can reach us on any of our online or social media platform. Our websites jclabandacademy.com, jclabandacademy.com. As I was saying, I'm going to be formulating deep conditioner hair mask. Like, follow, share, recommend. I already have two faces measured out except the water, my oil face and my water face. So inside here is going to contain my water face. I'm going to weigh the first ingredient, which is my solvent, and that is deionized water. Now that I have my water, I will include a humectant, which is glycerin, that I'll be using. You can substitute this with either propandol, sodium lactate, with propylene glycol, any of your choice. You substitute it with it. As for me, I'm using glycerin. As I said earlier, I already weighed all my ingredients. That's my humectant. That's what is going to hydrate the hair. Now, for my water face, this is the bulk of it. I'm going to add a gum, which is a conditioning gum. It's called cationic guar gum or Guar Hydroxylpropyltrimonium chloride. This is going to help with detangling, with making the hair softer. I'll be mixing it so that it will not form clumps. You use an overhead stirrer to mix it if you have an overhead stirrer, till everything is well dissolved. When it is dissolved, you can reduce the pH at this point. This is because Guar Hydroxylpropyltrimonium chloride gets thickened. When you adjust the pH to below 6, around 5, it gets thickened and it gets clearer. I already have a pH adjuster in my formula because I've been formulating this particular one for a while. As you can see the color right now. Now I'm adding the pH adjuster. Can you see how it's got clearer? Now, the higher the Guar Hydroxylpropyltrimonium chloride, the thicker you get. And sometimes if you use it at a very low usage rate, you might not notice the viscosity. But the thing is, it's helping you to stabilize that product. At this point, for your hair product that contains conditioning ingredients, leave out any anionic ingredients like stearic acid or xanthan gum. Don't use them. That's why Guar Hydroxylpropyltrimonium chloride is better when it comes to making hair products. It helps stabilize, it helps thicken a little bit depending on how much of it you use. It keeps your formula together. Then it helps with detangling, and so to substitute it, you might have to use another conditioning ingredient. I'm done with my water face. Remember, inside here I have my solvent, which you could also substitute with hydrosol or floral water, especially if you want fragrance. And then I have my hydrating ingredients. I have my conditioning ingredient that is going to help condition the hair when you use it as hair mask before you wash it off. I mean, the hair mask is going to be washed off. It's not going to be left on the hair. Now for my second face, which is my oil face, the first ingredient I'll talk about is Behentrimonium, Methosulfate, Cetearyl Alcohol, and Butylene glycol. This is a conditioning ingredient too. With the help of the Guar Hydroxylpropyltrimonium chloride with it, they are going to help with the conditioning, with the detangling, with making your hair soft, okay, when you use them in your formula. For this particular one, if you want to substitute it, then you can use Cetearyl chloride. It comes in liquid, so it's either this or the other one, and you can use Behentrimonium chloride to substitute it. You can use any other conditioning emulsifier to substitute it, but you cannot directly substitute it with a non-ionic emulsifier because they do different things. BTMS also help with thickening of the formula. It emulsifies and also thicken. There are some emulsifiers that don't really thicken, but BTMS, you can use it alone as your emulsifier slash thickener, depending on how much of it you use in your formula. As for me, I didn't use a lot, so I'm going to be assisting it with this ingredient, which is a non-ionic emulsifier. This is going to help with stabilizing, with thickening. Also is also going to be helping with wash off. This is it. So no matter what I include in this formula, it's going to help with the stability, which we want, because stability is important when it comes to formulation. This is why I have this non-ionic emulsifier, which is Cetearyl Alcohol and Polysorbate 80. Cetearyl Alcohol and Polysorbate 80. This is BTMS 50. Now for the last of my emulsifier slash thickener, this is a thickener here. This is Cetearyl Alcohol. I want it to be very thick. The ratio you use depends on the conditioning ingredients or how conditioning you want it in your formula, how thick you want it, and things like that. So you don't have to go with my own formula. I'm just showing you how to make it, so you can adjust your ratio however you want to adjust it. For the ratio, this is the highest in the formula, which is my Cetearyl Alcohol. Is really going to thicken it very well, then followed by my non-ionic emulsifier and my conditioning ingredient. You might be wondering why the conditioning ingredient is lesser. That's because I have other conditioning ingredients in the formula, which is the cationic guar gum and one other ingredient I'm going to use at cool down phase. Till we get to cool down phase, then I will explain that one too. Now I'm going to include the three of them together. I'll add the three of them together. The last ingredient that is going to be in my oil phase is oil. Now when it comes to hair products, it is not oil that really gives it the shine, the softness and all. It is when you include things like silicone, your conditioning ingredients, those are the things that give it that benefit. But we still need a little bit of oil for moisturization and for it not to be too dry, which is why I'm including this, my emollients. Now the ratio you use compared to body products is always very low, very minimal. It's just for it to be there. And you can choose any type of oil, plant oil, esters, any type, anything you want to substitute it with, depending on what you want to go for, your marketing story, your brand and everything. So you can choose depending on it. So you can also keep your oil within ratio of, let's say, 0.5 to 3%. So it's usually very low. Now when you're working with this type of ratio, because the water phase is higher and the oil phase is quite low, once this one gets hot enough, let's say about 70 degree centigrade, I can pour this directly, that's my oil phase, directly into the water, even without dissolving this, and then continue to emulsify and also dissolve it inside it, so it will be emulsifying. So that you must keep mixing. But if I don't want to do it that way, then I will heat this separately, which is what I'm going to do. When they are done heating, while still on heat, I'm going to pour my oil phase into my water phase, okay, while mixing. So by the time I'm done, that's when I'm done emulsifying, that's when I'll bring it back. Then when I bring it down from the heat, I will now use an immersion blender to mix it. If you have homogenizer, you can use it to homogenize it. But while we are pouring the oil phase inside water, let's, for example, when you're making things like lotion, cream, usually most people pour water inside the oil because they know everything in the water can drop inside the oil. You'll be able to pour everything. But with oil, you have to quickly use your spatula to scoop the remainder that is on the beaker inside the water while you're mixing them. So which is why it is easier to pour water inside oil. But for hair products or any products, like let's say you're making a face formulation that the oil is very low, it means that once you remove it from heat, it will start thickening almost immediately, which is why you can't afford to allow it to rest before you pour it, which is why you need to homogenize both of them quickly, and which is why you need to pour this inside here. You understand? So now I'm going to place both of them on heat, allow them to dissolve, then pour both together, mix before I now bring it back later. It is time to explain the other ingredients that are going into this deep conditioner hair mask. The first ingredient is Cocos Nucifera fruit extract, which is coconut extract. I'm going to be including this. This is going to help with hydration. It's going to help with moisturization. It's good for hair. It's good for the skin. I'm going to be including this into it. Then silk amino acid. You can use any other type, or you can use hydrolyzed protein to substitute it, or you remove it. You can get the formula of the deep conditioner hair mask by going to jclabandacademy.com. Then I have powders here. There are also extracts. Then I have polyquat 10. You can substitute with polyquat 7. It's also a conditioning ingredient that helps with detangling and every other thing. Then this is my last phase, which is part of the cool down phase, and it contains preservative, mixed tocopherol. It contains fragrance oil. Fragrance oil is optional. You can also decide to substitute with an essential oil, but if you want it to smell nice, then fragrance oil will smell better than essential oil. But if you want the benefits that comes from essential oil, then you can use essential oil, or you can use both. Because we need strong preservative system, I used 2 different preservatives. One is going to help with bacteria, gram positive and gram negative, and mold. Then the second one is going to help with fungi. And you are going to be dipping hand inside the product. Remember, whenever you are dipping a hand inside product, you have to make sure that the preservative you are using is very strong, comparing to if it's going to be coming in hair pump or in pump. It's time to emulsify it again. Then for the powders, I can just use my spatula to mix it. You have to check to make sure it has reached 40 degrees centigrade before you add your cool down phase. Then you emulsify it. Remember, when you get your own formula, when you purchase the formula, you can adjust it. If you don't want it to be this thick, you can reduce the consistency by reducing the amount of thickener in it. And now I'm going to be including the last set of powders. Just mix it in very well. You can substitute these powders and you can leave them out. Before you use it, you can damp your hair. You apply it all over the hair, cover it, steam it, however you want to do it, for some minutes, at least 15 minutes. So you can leave it up to 1 to 2 hours. Then you wash it with a shampoo and then condition it. Or you can wash the hair first, apply it, rinse it off. You don't need to use any other conditioner again. So whichever one you want to do. This is the final consistency. Now you can check the pH. Make sure it is acidic. 4 to 4.5 is okay. At most 5. When it comes to conditioners, let your pH be around 4 to 4.5, at most 5. That's the best pH for hair conditioners. I hope you are able to learn from this. Don't forget, the formula is in jclabandacademy.com if you want to purchase it. Bye.